Once upon a time long ago, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth gave birth to the Chowl's Pearl. Feeding off the sun and moon, its power grew at an unstoppable rate. The mixed energy it absorbed makes it unable to distinguish between good and evil, so the Supreme Lord of Heaven sends Taiyi and his brother Shen to put a stop to the Chowls. However, the Chowl's Pearl is so powerful that they are no match for it even working together. In the end, it is subdued by the Supreme Lord himself, who uses magical power to divide the Chowl's Pearl into the Spirit Pearl and the Demon Pill. He gives the Spirit Pearl and the Demon Pill to Taiyi to watch over and entrusts him a secret task. This makes Shen so jealous. He thinks that it must be his monster background that makes his master distrust him, so he comes up with a plot. Taiyi travels to Earth as required and finds Jing and his wife. It turns out that the Supreme Lord regards Jing as the chosen one, so he decides to reincarnate the Spirit Pearl into his son. Jing's wife, Lady Yin, has been pregnant for 3 years. On the day when Ne Zha is about to be born, all people in Chentang Pass come to his residence for a celebration. After calculating, Taiyi thinks it is the time, so he prepares to open the altar to reincarnate the Spirit Pearl. However, just when everything goes well, Shen uses a spell to control a servant to steal the Spirit Peel, making the Demon Pill that should have been destroyed reincarnate as Jing's son. With the completion of the whole process, the red light like blood envelopes the house and all is too late. Lady Yin gives birth to a big meatball. When the meatball falls to the ground, it turns into a child wrapped in flames. He is our protagonist, Ne Zha. Ne Zha destroys everything he can see. At this time, Taiyi quickly takes out Qiankan Hoop to seal him and wants to kill Ne Zha before he grows up, but Lady Yin rushes out and blocks Ne Zha with her body. Perhaps feeling the warm maternal love, Ne Zha gradually contains the demonic nature in his body. Although Taiyi decides to spare Ne Zha, the Supreme Lord has already put a curse on the Demon Pill, which means that Ne Zha will have only 3 years to live. In order to save his son, Jing decides to go to heaven with Taiyi to find the Supreme Lord. However, the Supreme Lord has entered a realm beyond the 3 worlds and will not come out in a short time. All Jing can do now is to spend more time with his son. One day in heaven is a year on earth. During the time when they are in heaven, Ne Zha has grown up a lot. However, all people in town are afraid of Ne Zha, so Lady Yin has to lock him up at home. One day when his mother is not at home, Ne Zha sneaks out and scares people to run away to all directions. But some who are bold pluck up courage to call Ne Zha a demon. To Ne Zha, this word is like a sharp knife inserting into his heart. He almost loses his mind after hearing it. Fortunately, Taiyi arrives in time so a disaster doesn't occur. The next day, Taiyi takes Ne Zha to another world with a treasure. He teaches Ne Zha a disguising spell, then goes to sleep peacefully and let Ne Zha practice alone. But to his surprise, Ne Zha masters the spell that took him 6 months in just 1 day, and Ne Zha even uses the spell to trick him. Taiyi thinks that Ne Zha is very talented, so he decides to accept him as an apprentice and teach him magic to banish demons and help others. Hearing that Taiyi wants him to help others, Ne Zha refuses his offer. In truth, Ne Zha is a good-hearted child, but the people in town have been regarding him as a demon since his birth distresses Ne Zha very much. Looking at the frustrated Ne Zha, who always wants to be a hero, Jing makes a lie that the reason why people are so afraid of him is because he is actually the reincarnation of the Spirit Pearl and destined to be people's savior. Ne Zha totally believes it and decides to practice his skills to earn back people's trust. 2 years later, Ne Zha meets Taiyi's expectation and has acquired a lot of skills in that world, but he hasn't gotten rid of his demonic nature. If he goes out like this, he will probably harm many innocent people. Therefore, Jing decides to let Ne Zha stay there to focus on meditation, but Ne Zha ignores him and runs out directly on the other side. A water demon who is sick of seafood goes to the land to find something else to eat. Unfortunately, it comes across Ne Zha, who has just returned. Knowing that it is no match for Ne Zha, the demon kidnaps a little girl and runs away. Ne Zha is so eager to do good deeds that he destroys many buildings when chasing after the demon, but even so he still fails to catch up with it. Seeing the demon is going to flee into the sea, Ne Zha feels very anxious, but in a flash the waving sea freezes into an endless ice surface. A man in white back to sunshine lands slowly from the air. He is very powerful and uses only a few seconds to save the girl from the demon. Just as he is going to end the life of the demon, Ne Zha stops him. Ne Zha doesn't want him to take credit, so he fights with the man. Then he tears off the mask covering the man's face, revealing the dragon horns on his head. But Ne Zha doesn't notice that when they are fighting, the demon spews countless bubbles floating in the air. If they touch the bubbles, their body will be petrified. But before the demon can react, the man with horns rushes out like an arrow, dodging all the bubbles and gives a punch to the demon's stomach, saving the girl out. about, but the saliva of the demon also can petrify people at this critical point. Ne-Zha comes up with a good idea. He uses the petrified man as a weapon to block bubbles and defeats the demon, who then gives out the antidote obediently. After being rescued, the man and the girl thank Ne-Zha sincerely, which makes Ne-Zha feel warm in his heart. In the sunset, Ne-Zha plays Jianzi with the man. This is the first time in his life to have a friend. Ne-Zha can't help crying. Before leaving, the man gives Ne-Zha a conch and tells him that whenever the conch sounds he will show up from everywhere. However, the happy times always don't last long. Townsfolk soon come to the seashore with weapons. Ne-Zha is no different from a demon in their eyes. They keep calling him demon, which deeply hurts Ne-Zha's feelings. He decides to teach them a lesson. Fortunately, Ne-Zha restricts himself from killing anyone. Taiyi and Ne-Zha's parents arrive after getting the news and stop the angry Ne-Zha. Jing touches Ne-Zha's palm, on which still has the residue of the demon, so he believes that his son is not lying, but now no one else believes Ne-Zha, because prejudice in people's mind cannot be easily changed. On the other side, after departing Ne-Zha, the man returns home in the deep sea. His name is Owl Bing, the son of the Dragon King. Owl Bing tells his father about his new friend, but what his father says next frustrates him very much. In order to free all dragons and change their fate as monsters, the Dragon King chose to cooperate with Shen and stole the Spirit Pearl. Owl Bing is actually the reincarnation of Spirit Pearl, and Ne-Zha is his sworn rival. On the other side, Ne-Zha feels very excited for his birthday is coming and his parents promise him a grand birthday party. Ne-Zha doesn't care about others, but Owl Bing is his only friend who he hopes can attend the party. Ne-Zha comes to the seashore to call Owl Bing without noticing that something seems to be bothering his friend. Of course, Owl Bing is bothered, for the Dragon King gave him a task, killing Ne-Zha at his birthday party and gaining the trust of the people, which is the only hope for dragons' freedom. Owl Bing is overwhelmed by this task. On the birthday, Ne-Zha is trying on new clothes happily. However, Shen comes in and tells Ne-Zha that he is not a savior at all, but the reincarnation of the demon pill. After knowing the truth, Ne-Zha comes to the party to question his father angrily why he made a lie, and then lifts the seal of Qiankan Hoop with a spell given by Shen. Without the seal, Ne-Zha instantly loses his mind, becoming a devil who even tires to kill his father. Now only Qiankan Hoop can stop Ne-Zha, but it was taken away by Shen, who is standing on the faraway mountain with Owl Bing watching the battle. Having a kind heart, Owl Bing cannot bear to watch innocent people die, so he takes Qiankan Hoop from Shen to seal Ne-Zha again and save Ne-Zha's parents. Although Ne-Zha comes back to his sense, he still feels deeply deceived and leaves angrily. At the same time, Jing detects a special scent on Owl Bing and tears off his coat. At the moment when Owl Bing shows his horns, everything is clear. People finally know that it is dragons and Shen who make Ne-Zha a demon. Under the accusation of all and the instigation of Shen, Owl Bing cannot take it anymore. He angrily leads the water from the sea to the sky of the town and then freezes it. He plans to bury all people alive. Jing and his wife want to stop him, but they are no match for him at all. Just then a flaming meteor flashes across the sky. It is Ne-Zha. It turns out that the flaming chariot has told him the truth. When Jing and Taiyi went to heaven, they learned from the guard that although the curse cannot be broken, the death of a loved one can exchange for Ne-Zha's life by the transplant spell. In order to keep Ne-Zha alive, Jing decides to sacrifice himself. Ne-Zha is moved and returns to the battlefield. This time he will fight for his parents and the people in town, but Ne-Zha's power is sealed by Qiankan Hoop, so he is no match for Owl Bing. Therefore he chooses to outwit and plays tricks on Owl Bing. Without much time left, Owl Bing becomes impatient and turns into a dragon to smash the ice. Seeing that the whole town is going to be buried, Ne-Zha has to free all his power, but this time he uses the Qiankan Hoop to contain his demonic nature. However, this still doesn't work. Seeing that the ice is getting lower and lower, Owl Bing tries to persuade him to give up, but Ne-Zha refuses to give up. He has been fighting against the unfair fate all his life, so he believes that no one but himself is the master of his own destiny. Inspired by spiritual strength, Ne-Zha bursts out great power. 6 arms grow out of his back and the flames from his body evaporate the ice. Owl Bing realizes that his time is gone and wants to escape. The next second, the fire-tipped spear comes only a few centimeters before his eyes, but Ne-Zha doesn't stab, for Owl Bing is his only friend. At this moment, thunder begins to come in the sky, which is the heaven-made curse set by the Supreme Lord on the demon pill, and means that Ne-Zha's life is coming to the end. Ne-Zha is doomed not to survive his 3rd birthday. He burns the transplant spell given by his father and says goodbye to his parents. Then Ne-Zha flies into the sky calmly to meet the lightning bolt, but the next second Owl Bing also rushes into the lightning bolt, fighting against it with Ne-Zha. At this moment, Owl Bing is no longer the son of the Dragon King, nor is he shouldering the mission of freeing dragons. Now he is just the only friend of Ne-Zha. Although the energy bursts out of their body is small, they bravely fight against the lightning bolt. However, it doesn't last long and they are going to be swallowed by the lightning bolt. At this moment Taiyi summons the multicolor lotus, and when the lightning and the lotus collide, heaven and earth suddenly become endlessly white. At the end of the film, Neza and Owl Bing's souls are kept because of the lotus. The people in town also change their views towards Neza, kneeling on the ground and thanking Neza for everything he has done for them. This video ends here. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss our latest video, and we will see you on the next video.